Hanzo is a ninja with a big-ass sword who became the head of the Shadow faction, which makes him the strongest ninja. And if you read the story further, there's this Akakage, Hanekage, Crimson and Shadow factions, and who fucking cares, I'll just tell you how to win. Hanzo has 3 skills. I'm pretty sure you guys are already familiar with this skill, so this section might be irrelevant, but I gotta at least try to hit the 10-minute mark, right? So here we go. Hanzo's passive lets you collect demon blood from dying units near you or simply by using skills. If for some reason you don't know, demon blood is the red bar underneath his HP, which I will explain more about it later. Skill 1. Now let's be honest here. This skill is what makes Hanzo the fastest jungler and also a bitch at the same time. You first need to unlock your skill 1 though with 5 basic attacks, and then you can just
drop it.
Please?
Skill 2. This skill is called Get the Fuck Out of My Lane, and is the only AoE slowing damage skill that Hanzo has on his main body. This skill has a 7.5 seconds cooldown and stays for 4.5 seconds, which means you can have it on the map every 3 seconds. So spam this shit as much as possible to both piss your opponent off and get free damage at the same time. Or you can just place it on minion waves so that the enemy melee heroes are forced to back off. It is not at all annoying. Oh, by the way, stepping into the center of this skill will give you an insignificant amount of demon blood, but every drop is precious, so why not? And lastly, we have skill 3, which is your ult.
Your team destroyed a turret. Killing spree.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Are you sure about that?
Nope.
Entering this state gives Hanzo a new set of skills in which the levels are equivalent to the previous skills, but it will gradually consume demon blood, and once it's empty, Hanzo's main body will travel back to wherever his ghost is. So make sure to go back if you see your red bar is getting empty. But on the contrary, you can also use this to fast travel. I usually use this to fast travel from base to bottom buff. It's what you call a pro move. Skill 1 in ghost form is a pain in the ass. It deals an insane amount of damage because the damage is proportional to the enemy's max HP. Side note, you still have to hit the enemy 5 times before you can unlock this skill. Skill 2 in ghost form makes you disappear from the map, making you untargetable while dealing AoE damage after a certain delay. Although it sounds and looks badass, it is not that easy to execute. But if you manage to pull it off, it is satisfying as fuck. This skill applies basic attack effects such as slows from Corrosion Scythe and Typhoon from Windtalker besides giving charges to unlock your skill 1. So if you do it correctly, you should be able to stab them in the ass immediately after skill 2. Alright, that's it for the skills. What time are we at now? Great, just great. Almost 10 minutes.
Now I will teach you how to become a real cancer.
For the build, take skill 1 first to steal enemy buff and max it last. Take skill 2 second and max it first because this is your only damage skill that can help you clear minion waves to help you farm in the main form. Put points in skill 3 whenever available. For the battle spells, some people use Arrival to send help from the opposite side of the map. But I found that Sprint is more reliable since it has lower cooldown and can remove the penalty you receive after your ghost's death, besides being used to steal enemy buff at the start of the game and to chase people around until your blood runs out. So always go for Sprint. For the emblem, use Assassin Emblem and put 3 points in movement speed, 3 points in physical penetration, or just 1 if you're a cheap ass player like me, and take Talon 1 for more gold per kill. People usually go for attack speed when picking Hanzo, which is very cliche, but we're not going to do that in this guide. We're going to do something different that does not involve any sort of attack speed. I know this sounds a bit absurd, but this build is what makes this guy my guy. Buy rapid boots to move around and chase people down faster than your blood loss. Build Blade of Hephaestus next for early aggression and insane damage. I mean, just look at that damage. What the freak is that damage? That's a lot of damage. Next is Endless Battle for sustainability and also the juicy extra movement speed. Plus, the passive that allows you to deal true damage after casting a skill is just too good to let go. Rose Gold Meteor is one of the best items in the games as it gives you both physical attack and also magic defense. Use this so that you don't get one shot from those mage fuckers. Hunter Strike on the 5th slot for the movement speed effect, but mainly because it gives you a lot of physical attack. Although it got nerfed in the recent patch, but it is still a viable option. And lastly, Blade of Despair for maximum pain. As soon as the game begins, take skill 1 and buy a pair of boots because you need that extra movement speed if you want to steal the enemy buff in time. Then go to the small jungle camp at your side of the map right here. If you watch Metakezo's ultra fast speed guide, he tell you to go to this jungle camp instead. But I wouldn't recommend that because A, it's the enemy jungle. B, the creep spawns at the 40th second, which is very late. And C, this is my guy, so just shut up and watch. The creep in this camp will spawn at the 31st second, so until then just hide in this bush as to not get spotted. Once the creep spawned, hit it 5 times to unlock your skill 1, immediately pop out sprint and go straight to the enemy buff and help them farm. This trick works 90% of the time and it will waste the enemy's mana and time just to tenderize the meat for you. The other 10% is when you face experienced players who pull the creeps into the bush so that you cannot see them. Or you can just get fucking ambushed. I don't have the footage here, but you will experience it every now and then. Once you have accomplished your mission, head bottom lane, clear the wave, and then proceed to kill this innocent red bug. By the time you're beating this bug, your skill 1 will most likely to be off cooldown, but be sure to save it for the crab instead. Be very careful though, because enemy mid might already be there and you'll just end up dying for merely trying to contest the crab. If you anticipate that you couldn't get the crab safely, it is time to do what every other Hanzos do. Eat another buff.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Once you reach level 4, start roaming to help your friends out. If your teammates are doing fine without you, just pressure your lane until you get that tier 1 tower down. Your ult has a very short cooldown, so don't hesitate to use it to scout enemy territory every now and then. Never initiate using skill 2 when chasing enemies unless you're sure you're gonna land it, because the big warning circle of death is highly avoidable. Only initiate using skill 2 though after the enemy has used their blink, or if they are too busy to be focusing on you. Keep in mind that you can still use this skill even if you are immobilized. Use this to your advantage. Until a team gets the map control, you pretty much want to stay at your half side of the map every time your skill 3 is on cooldown. Always stay in safe places like in the bush or inside your tower range and only do errands like pushing or team fighting with your ghost. Make sure to return back to your body before your red or green bar goes empty, otherwise you'll be more of a shit than you already are. Also be sure to watch out for haters as well.
You have been slain.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
To summarize, Hanzo is a bitch. He can steal your farm and waste your skills, which makes him easy and fun to play with. If you don't know what hero to buy next, try Hanzo. I'm sure you will have fun with him. Very fun. Oh damn, it's fun. It's fun, alright, yes. Alright, that's it for the guide. I'm sure I left out some important tips here, so be sure to bitch about it in the comments.